All right, so we're gonna get started.
Okay.
How did you get into gardening?
Okay, so my mom is an avid gardener, and I always loved what she did, so she kind of inspired me, and then I ended up going to school for horticulture and followed that career path and just kind of have done it since then.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
How many years have you been gardening?
I would say around personal gardens around 6 years, and then growing cut flowers for selling. I've done that for 3 years.
So this is a question that's kind of off of the beaten path, but tell us like your offerings of what you do with all of your flowers.
Okay, so I go to a farmer's market in Windsor, the downtown Windsor Farmer's Market, every Saturday, and we do a full season of that. We offer private workshops, we offer public workshops, so, at places like Anna's, or we could do, like bachelorette parties, stuff like that. We do pick your own flower days on Sundays at the farm. We do flower subscriptions where we deliver flowers to people's houses. They prepay for 4 or 8 bouquets, and they will get that throughout the season. They get the best of our flowers. Our subscription members are kind of our prime people, and it works kind of like a CSA, so they prepay for a season's worth of farm-grown product, and in this case, it's flowers. So that's a really exciting thing that we offer this year. We do small weddings, stuff like that. Nothing too crazy, nothing too big, but we do like smaller weddings and micro weddings. We will do DIY flower buckets. So if people want to arrange their own flowers for events and stuff like that, we also do that. And I think that's it.
That's lots.
Yes.
Awesome. All right. Do you have any resources for helping to make your garden succeed, and where you draw inspiration, like books or podcasts or people?
So I do listen to a fair amount of podcasts. I love Lisa Mason Ziegler. I love Erin Benzacane. I like Laura. There's many of them that I follow. But also for people locally, there are some really good Facebook groups where you can get knowledge on what grows best around our area. Not only that, if they're typically people in our area are having similar issues to what we have. So I am active in a lot of local gardening groups, just because it's just easier to get in, I don't know how to explain it, just information more specific to our area. So I like those, and I like what people grow, and I like to see what other people do and find inspiration in that. But a lot of things I see online, and I try it, and if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I like to trial so many flowers, so everything is like an experiment for me. I'll do a small patch of it, once a year, or a small patch of it for a year, and if it doesn't work out, then I stop growing it, even though if I love it or not.
Yeah.
And if it does work out, then I continue to grow it.
Nice.
So yeah.
What is your favorite thing to grow, and why?
That's a hard one. Okay. Well, I will start off by saying that I love dry flowers. I have an obsession with dry flowers, especially after last year. I got a little taste of it. But if it wasn't dry flowers, I think I'm gonna have to say dahlias. I love dahlias. I'm a sucker for them.
And why is it dahlias?
They're just beautiful.
Just the look of them.
Yeah, they're not the most profitable cut flower because they are quite expensive, but I just love them. So
Yeah.
I can't stop growing them.
Yeah. So you do tubers, and do you experiment with different dahlia tubers?
Yep,
or?
so I did grow an assortment last year, but this year I've kind of honed in on the ball type because they do last longer in the vase, and they're just more productive for cut flowers, so I do have to have somewhat of a control over what I do buy. So I do like all the ball varieties,
Yeah.
and I added a bunch of those this year, so I'm excited about those ones.
Nice. All right. What does gardening bring to your life?
Just happiness. I find that my mental health is at its best in the summer when the gardening season is at its highest and its peak. Even though it might be stressful with all the work that needs to be done, I find that keeping my mind busy out here is just the most relaxing thing that I could ever do. It's been really good for me. It's just very therapeutic for me to be out here. And I tell other people too, like, if you're struggling, come pull weeds on my farm for a week. You'll be good by the end. You'll get so much workout, and you'll just see so many cool things. And
Yeah.
I don't know, just being more in touch with nature, it's very therapeutic, and I think it's we're missing that.
For sure. And talk a little bit about, just because you mentioned it earlier, but it's kind of become like a family affair where your daughter's out here and learning all these different things, and I guess how it's affected your family having the garden.
Sure, yeah. So I lost my job to COVID 2 days before we surprisingly, like unknowingly, got Sky, and then after we got her in our care, we kind of switched gears and we're like, okay, I kind of need to do something where I'm not a stay-at-home mom, but I needed something with more flexible hours. So we just, I don't know, we took a risk and we thought, okay, let's grow sunflowers. We grew sunflowers only for the first summer, and I was able to be at home with her, just because we just needed some extra time with her. So I was able to just be like kind of a stay-at-home mom with her, and then we grew sunflowers all season, and then like it's just worked into, it's like I've been able to stay at home with the kids now, and they love the farm. Skylar loves the farm. She's like the best helper on the farm. But yeah, it's good. Even for her, I think it's therapeutic for her too when she needs something to take her mind away from things.
For sure.
So it's good. I think it's good for everybody.
Good.
And even my son, he the second the tractor starts or the lawnmower, he starts running over to my husband, and Skylar will hop and you'll see them both like riding on one side inside the tractor, and it's just the cutest thing. We love the farm life. We've wanted it. I tell people I might not be making as much money, but I'm like the happiest person I could ever be right now. Bella, come here. Come here. Sorry.
No, that's okay.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Lay down.
So how would you describe your garden style? Or even
bright.
your arrangement style or anything like that?
Okay. I would say definitely bright. I love bright flowers. I do like muted tones, and I can do that for people if they want, but I think that flowers should be bright and they should bring color to people's lives, and I'm often like pairing colors that people wouldn't pair together like other florists, but I think it's awesome. I think the more color in the bouquets, the better, and the more unique flowers, the better. Just things that people don't see when they get cut flowers. So I like bright, everything bright.
Love it. What is your favorite month and time of day in your garden?
Okay, favorite time is sunset, when the sun, like golden hour is the nicest in the garden, and I would say midsummer right now is the best. When everything is in full bloom, it's my favorite.
Yeah.
So this is when I will pretty much have the most, come here, Bella. Bella.
You're good.
This is when I'll have the most color on my farm, so definitely right now. I do love spring and the tulips and everything, but it's just not as colorful as this.
Fair enough. What inspires your choices when it comes to plants?
So I'm in a little bit different because I'm growing for sale, so productivity is my number one. But also uniqueness and the colors too, but I definitely need something that's productive. I try to stay away from anything that is super hard and doesn't give me, I don't, make any money off of. I try to stay away from that kind of stuff, but obviously that's not the best to say, but I just am looking for plants that are really productive, they're drought tolerant, they're pest resistant, stuff like that, things that are sellable.
What dreams do you have for your garden?
Okay, so for my garden, I dream of having like a 5-acre flower farm. So right now I have like about 1 acre dedicated to cut flowers, and then the rest is sunflowers and pumpkins. But if I could have like a 5-acre therapeutic cut flower farm where there would be like wildflower areas and stuff like that, I think it would be really awesome. And I just, within time, hopefully we can get there.
What do you do with your pumpkins, actually, now that you mentioned it?
So we hopefully will be selling them to Anna's.
Okay.
Yeah. We talked to him about it, and he said that he would buy them at the right price. So I'm growing like 2 types of white pumpkins, 1 faded orange winter squash, and then a couple of different kinds of ornamental gourds. Nice. So I'm not growing any orange pumpkins. Yeah. I'm sticking more to decorative ones. Yeah. But I'm excited. It's my 2nd year growing pumpkins. I really loved growing them last year. That was like another spark in me another horticulture obsession that I got So it was really fun growing pumpkins, and that's why we like quadrupled our size this year.
Nice.
For the pumpkins.
What would you say is the thing you do best in your garden?
Oh, what would I do best? I don't know. That's a hard question. Like in terms of...
Really just in terms of maybe it's choosing the flowers, or it's putting your arrangements together, or it's taking care of the flowers and getting to know like certain pests, or even looking at your dahlias and being like, okay, we need to figure out a strategy to make sure the buds are protected, or when you is it a creativity thing? Is it a strategic thing? Is it...
I do think that I am creative, but I think more of me is on the grower side. So I am more in tune with, like, when I walk through my crop, I'm not thinking, wow, this is beautiful. I'm looking and searching for bugs, pests, if anything's different from the day before, all of that kind of stuff. So coming from like a horticulture background and not an artist background, I'm definitely more in tune with the grower side of things than I am the creative and designing, but I have been getting better on the designing. I know I still have some work to be done and some practice, but I definitely am more of like the grower type thing. I like to learn the science behind everything. I like to know why insects and pests like certain plants more than they like the other. I like to know the controls and the cycles of if I should just leave this pest and let, nature take care of it. And I've done that this year without spraying, and had a pretty bad aphid problem, but I let the ladybugs hatch into their pretty vigorous stage and let the ladybugs do their thing, and now I'm good with the aphids on so I'm happy I didn't spray. I try not to spray on my farm at all. So
a lot of your joy comes from kind of seeing the problem and then coming up with a creative solution and seeing how you can... Nice. That's
and just
awesome.
the scientific part behind it. Like it's incredible the way that the biology works with these insects. It's like the perfect timing. One thing hatches and there's a huge infestation, but it's the week later, like the predator is ready to go, very vigorous and ready to take that insect over. So it's pretty cool. Most things are taken care of. We've been lucky, so I'm crossing my fingers we haven't had to spray this year. But I'm thinking that not spraying has done it like an incredible job of keeping the good insects around.
Awesome.
So I'm excited about that, and I take pride in being able to like touch my plants and smell them without having to be worried
about chemicals and stuff.
Yeah,
that's awesome. All right, that's all for us, unless there's anything else that you want to add or you want people to know about East Beach Flower Farm.
Okay, well, if I could just I don't want to advertise, but if I could just have people be inspired to come and visit the gardens, it's like an incredible experience. I think that seeing all the different insects and birds and wildlife that we have here, and then just all the different varieties of flowers that we have here, it's a different experience that we don't have in Leamington. So I think I just really want people to experience this and bring some friends out and come and see what it's like on the flower farm.
And what's the best way for people to set something up like that?
So on my website, eastbeachflowerfarm.com, there is information on the